What's up, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kumo. In today's video, I'm going to teach you a technique that is widely used in deep house scenes. Pretty much a producer like myself and Rook Tony pretty much use this technique quite a lot. So pretty much this technique is called the call and response, and I'm going to teach you guys that technique in today's video. Please consider liking this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's jump right into it. First order of business, you need to have two sounds in order for this technique to actually work. Now, in best way I can actually describe what the call and response does and what's actually going on is basically like this. A call and response needs to have two things, actually three. It needs to have one person, which is the sender, which is also going to have the second person, which is actually the receiver, and last but not least, it needs to have the message. Now, with those three things, this is actually the call. This is the sender. So the sender is our first sound, which is Serum 2 right here. If I come to my channel rec right here, I'm just going to remove that. I'm going to remove that. If you come to my channel rec right there, we got Serum, and Serum, what's actually doing, it's the call right here. And then doing 3 is actually the response, which is the person who's going to receive the message. And pretty much the message is these chords right here. This is the message. It's transferring the very same message to our receiver. And as you can see right here, from our ghost notes, we basically are playing the very same chord previously from our first sound, which is the call. As if I can overlap these chords with this chord right here, the ghost notes right there, you can actually see it's identical to our ghost notes from behind on our call sound. I'm just going to put that back to its original position. And going on to the second and the third chord, we basically are doing the very same thing. It's repeatedly doing the very same thing over and over. It's playing the very same chords just at a different time. And notice one thing with the call and response. When this technique actually happens, what tends to actually happen is that the first chords, which are these chords, play for about a bar, quarter of a bar, and then once they're at this point, they stop to play, and then these chords start to come in play. That's the whole point of call and response. Now, one thing about this technique and what I love about it, if you use it in your music, it's going to help you. So we're going to pretty much go back in here. I'm not going to go in detail on how I designed the sound. Now, this is pretty much simple. We got the call right here, which is like our first three chords right here. And then we got our response at the quarter. And then just at the end of it, we got our response coming in. And this is going to go back to our call, but this time we have a different chord. I hope you get the point there. And then to make this not pretty much too repetitive, we basically are using the same chord this time, just we're reharmonizing it. In a simpler way, I'm just changing the feeling of how it sounds. It's kind of like wearing the same clothes by changing the shoes. If I can actually take this chord right there and overlap it with this, it's the very same chord. The only difference is that the root note of it, the bass note, is actually like changed with like a couple of semitones. I think this is like 4 semitones below. So that's basically how. And the second thing I did, I added a passing chord. A passing chord is actually like a note that is in between chords that makes a transition to the other chord. It adds a little bit of depth and also feeling to it so that the chords don't sound too basic. It also has to do with something to do with making your chords a bit more advanced. You won't pretty much hear it because the bass is a bit more subtle, but I actually just changed the bass note to like the upper semitone. I just took it one semitone. Now this is pretty much good because you're actually creating variation. We are making our melody not sound too repetitive. One thing to note about the call and response, you don't want to make your stuff too repetitive. You always want to make changes. You always want to make the track evolving. That's the whole point of house music being so unique. Now, coming to variation, you can actually do quite a lot with this. You can actually modulate it. So I'm going to take this point right there and take it down. as you can hear, you've already created variation. This is pretty much so nice because I can actually change the sound over time. If I don't like how it sounds, I can just change it, make it however way I feel, and that is it. But now let's say you've pretty much produced a fully made track and you want to use it in your production, and this is pretty much how it should sound.
Peace, love. 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 Yeah. Love. Love. Love.
So yeah, you get the whole point, and I hope you quite learned a lot of stuff in this video. Hope you got a little bit of some value in today's video. Please consider liking this video, subscribe to the channel. That was Kumo, and peace out.